On the west side of Alaska's Cook Inlet lies a piece of Lake Clark National Park and Preserve that sees few visitors. The park is a haven for wildlife, fish, beautiful rivers and streams, all framed by magnificent mountains that bear few tracks of man. Very few people inhabit this side of the Cook Inlet, but there is a summer lodge or two on the coast. The hub of this part of Lake Clark National Park between Tuxedni Bay and Chitna Bay is Silver Salmon Creek, accessible by small airplane from the Kenai or Soldotna Airport.
We have about 75 miles of coastline here that comprises coastal Lake Clark National Park, and that ranges from the head of Tuxedni Bay to the head of Chitna Bay. And the area of Silver Salmon is a community, loosely tied together community of about 8 different landowners over a period of about 5 miles.
In this remote location we find Silver Salmon Creek Lodge, a lodge just off the inlet with a creek in front. Salmon call Silver Salmon Creek home, returning each year to spawn and end their cycle at the place of their birth.
Silvers that come in out of the ocean, and coho is the other name for silvers, and they are coming into these tidally affected streams, which are not large streams, but they do host a large amount of silver salmon.
I came over here for 2 nights, 3 days in September and had a fabulous time, had a wonderful time. Caught salmon within the first 30 minutes we were here. Well, I still have pictures of my mother catching her salmon on my refrigerator. It's one of my favorite pictures.
Fishing. Keep a couple of canoes here for sightseeing. This shallow lake is the headwaters of Silver Salmon Creek, where most of the salmon migrate to spawn, and subsequently it is closed to fishing. When you are in places like this on the planet, you don't think of shopping centers or social ills. Here you discover reality and begin to realize that the other life is made up. Back at the lodge, fish is the business. Dave's halibut charter has just come in and the catch has to be cleaned. Dave is the only halibut charter operating on this side of the Cook Inlet and is generally quite successful.
Here we're at the mouth of Johnson River, Paul, and we're finding a little colony of harbor seals. And the colony is building. There's quite a few here now, up to a couple hundred, I believe. And they're mixed in with some kittiwakes right at the confluence of the Johnson River and Cook Inlet. That's better. Look at that. That's great right there. With the mountains behind you.
We have volcanic mountains behind us. 10,000-foot Mount Iliamna is only 15 miles behind us. And the Chigmit Mountains range all the way up to Denali, of course, so they're quite striking.
Down the coast a few miles from the lodge is Shelter Creek. Dave keeps a tent spot camp here, offering solitude and beauty. Here you can beachcomb or just relax. Food is a priority at the lodge.
We grill up salmon. On our offshore halibut trips, we'll bring in halibut, and people enjoy that as well. We have fresh clams that we do, so we offer clam chowder and fried clams.
One full day at Silver Salmon Creek in Lake Clark National Park and Preserve is never long enough, and a week often seems too short. But at the end of the day, the bears, the salmon, the swans, and the people all take solace in having lived a full life, a complete life, in the heart of reality.